But but they are big enough to do it. You're right.
Is that if they made the API, they would probably make it only work with Ubuntu.
Yeah, this is one of this is why I have mixed feelings about Canonical. In a lot of ways, they're becoming a Mac-ish philosophy. Purely software. They're not doing hardware or anything, but I'm like, it's like they're not violating open source, but it's hard to articulate, and I do such a poor job of it. But it's just one of those. I'm sensing a divide forming. That's in danger of becoming a gaping wide chasm. I don't know how you feel on that, Jordan.
I've been sitting here thinking about you were talking about the API for how to teach a new user, and program ideas coming to my head. Sorry.
Oh, hey, write them down. Write them down. Maybe this is developable.
Anyway, so what you were saying?
Me or Jordan?
Jordan.
He's been thinking about how to do what you were talking about. I'm like, no, stop thinking.
Comment on it, though?
I don't know enough about the back end of GNOME to really comment on it, but I would be willing to bet there's probably at least something in the API and the SDK, whatever you want to call it, that will identify the elements. So if you could make some sort of a screen overlay...
There would have to be, because something has to tell them where to go.
Right. If you could create something that would point to, like, if you want to learn about how to get to your internet, to your web browser, it would point, go to your menu. Here's your menu. It's in the lower left. Oh, it's in the upper right. You've got the main menu instead of the application menu, so we're going to click on the main menu and then go to internet instead of going to applications internet.
And all you should have to do there is, honestly, this is the most basic computer programming. Even I could program this. This is basically, for all these variables, you can write an if-else statement that tests for all the places it could be, and when it finds the right one, it goes, oh, it's there, let's play this message. And it's like...
I don't know about the easiest ever. I'm sure there's a lot of complications.
Okay, but most basic. This is computer programming at its most basic, because it's that introductory to computer logic course that Yada Yada Everywhere teaches. It's
maybe the base of it might be, but once you get into all the components, no,
that's incredibly complex. But I mean, once you solve those problems, the logic tests to go through of is it here, is it there, is it not?
Yeah.
Is the most basic. It's basically simple if-else statements for the tutorial.
But even if that API can't be done, I would like to see, this probably wouldn't be as hard, and possibly even, Mint does have a few developers. They might be able to make something which just does do something over the screen, and it'll only work with the default install, because they won't make the API that'll connect with everything, but that's okay, because they could just do it for the default install, and, if you change stuff, then it could tell you how to, whatever, but...
Or like the last step of the tutorial could be, now that you know where everything is, here's how you move it where you want it.
That's actually a great idea. Yeah, how to customize your system would be the last part of the tutorial. That's wonderful, actually.
Because now you know what everything does, put it where you want it.
Yeah, that's actually an amazing idea, and I think that even a small amount of developers, like with Mint, could actually do that. Because all you need is just have something. They know where it is, so all you need is just have a little overlay arrow that'll point to it, and then it'll point to Firefox. It'll tell you how to use stuff, and And if this is too big, they could just make it for every LTS instead of making it for every version. But I think that even a smaller amount of developers could do something like that, and that's something that I would like to see too. If the whole big dream of the API can't happen, at least something at the start of the distro. And I totally agree with you that the engine be customizable. That's great. Yeah.
Well, it's like, and this is why I really wish I was like friends with some software developers and stuff, because there's a lot of stuff like this. It's like I'd actually like to bounce off that, not this in particular, but there's a lot of things like this. I'd like to bounce off of somebody who would actually know how to do it, and I'm like, okay, how big a mountain is this? Just out of curiosity. I know it's not a molehill, but is it Mount Everest or Tampico? It's like, anyways, okay, what else do we want to go into here? We done the news sites, we did the sites.
What do you think about some distro like Mint doing that at the start, having that, Jordan?
I think that would be very doable, actually. As long as you didn't tell it to interact with the live elements. If you did it just sort of as if it were a video game, you did a full screen, here is what your default distro will look like, what do you want to do? And you have like 8 options or 16 options or however many. I want to browse the web. To browse the web, click the Mint menu. Then click Firefox. And then it walks you through doing it.
Yeah.
That honestly wouldn't be as bad as I thought it would be.
No, and that's basically what tutorials like that always are. Basically, you write some kind of on first boot, run this, with, and have an opt-out box somewhere. It's like, no thanks, shut up tutorial.
Or just like the Mint does already, they've got that box in the center. You have a interactive demo button.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would work too. And why couldn't it be live, Jordan?
I just was thinking, I don't know enough about the back end of the how to interface with the GTK elements, but doing it the other way, you would just have a preset configuration. This is what, like, for example, Mint is going to come with, so you create scenarios for each of the applications you're going to be demonstrating, or each of the tutorial type things you're going to do.
Well, and you wouldn't even have to go through everything. It's like you'd go through like a basic set. You'd go through email, web browsing,
instant messaging.
Where the main menus are, because depending whether you're using KDE GNOME or something else, it's like there's different menu styles, but there's like, this is your main menu element, this is your other, like these are your main areas. It's like you're just giving a basic orientation. You're not going through every single app in the thing. It's like, so.
Yeah. So basically, yeah. And how to install applications.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like you'd have to go over the package manager.
Right.
Okay, and that's actually what question 3 was here. It's like somebody was asking. I'd never heard of this application. It's like, it's apparently has to do with what is it? It's called Synergy. It has something to do with like controlling keyboards and mice remotely or something. And I think now that they've brought it up, I'm like, I think I had heard of it a long time ago, but I don't use it. It's like I've since answered them, but basically was they didn't realize they needed to open the package manager. It's like, and this is kind of now I see this becoming less of a problem going forward, because with Lion, Apple now has this app thing in their thing, and there's enough rumors of substantial merit to suggest that Windows 8, whatever the heck it's called, whenever the heck it comes out, is going to have some type of application store. So this is a mentality that's being adopted by the other 2 main operating systems, so future switchers will already be oriented to the idea of a package manager because they'll have one now. But for now, outside of mobile environments, it's a little bit of a learning curve to realize that you have this thing called a package manager, and all the packs officially supported are in there.
Yeah. There's going to be a Mac App Store with the next version.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. It's like yeah, it's like Lion now has that, and Windows 8's supposedly going to have it, so it's apparently everybody thinks this is a good idea. Depending how it's implemented, anyways, that's a different problem.
Which is funny because I've seen a lot of people use that as a remark against why Linux is worse, that it uses a package manager. It's one of the best things about Linux.
Well, it's where what I would love to see the package managers do in Linux is I would like to see when you like download an installer, an RPM or a deb or whatever from outside the package manager, that it does some kind of check with the package manager, which doesn't get done right now, which can cause problems in some cases. I have mixed feelings about this. My honest recommendations at this point is I don't recommend novice users do install from outside the repo until they get a little more comfortable with Linux, because it is a way to screw up your system. If you get the wrong pack or you put something that conflicts with something else, it's like it can do. And I would like some kind of install wizard that integrates with the package manager in such a way to minimize the damage you can do. Not to prevent you from doing it, but to just kind of help more novice users not completely screw up their system on accident, if that makes any sense at all. I realize that's a monumental undertaking and asking, but I'm not sure it's entirely impossible either. Any thoughts on that one way or the other, Jordan? You sound like you looked like you were thinking about that or something.
I'm still that program is killing me. I've got so many ideas flooding my head. I'm sorry, guys. I'm out of it.
No, that's okay. Write them down.
That's great.
No, that's great. It's like
actually, talking about this has gotten me on the idea of a video.
I don't know how to make something like an overlay over the screen.
Yeah, I mean, basically all you need is a full screen overlay layer.
Right.
It's
well, yeah, but I think I'm glad you're thinking about it. That's cool.
Well, thinking about it as a program, but also as this could also be a video.
Yeah. You mean?
Or a series of videos.
This could be a whole series of videos, actually.
This could be a series of videos for every single distro out there.
Yeah, actually, that was one of the things I was thinking about doing with this show, but we didn't get a diverse enough group. I was hoping to get a good group of power users for all the things, and at some point I'm still hoping to do that going forward, when I can have more than 3 people and I can actually do live streams. I would like to just take a night a week and say, okay, anybody who can't figure something out, Skype, call, chat, whatever, we will walk you through it on the stream. Because it's an orientation that people need.
Yeah, videos would work too, but even better than a YouTube video would just be video that they download that would just completely take up the full screen of the entire distro, including taking up the.
I would show you the default look and feel, and then walk you through each thing.
Yeah.
It would look exactly like the other thing. And it would tell you press any key to escape this tutorial, and it would, leave. But it would be nice.
Where's the any key? I can't find the any key.
Right. That would also be a much easier solution, because then you just have to make a video take up the entire screen so that it looks like there's your desktop right here.
I still think what you're suggesting is better, but the initial solution would probably be something like that, just because that would be, as simple as doing a record my desktop walkthrough, and that's. And I think over
where my mind is right now.
Yeah, over time it would ideally evolve into what we were talking about as the distros.
First the idea where it's an interactive tutorial, and then we get the API and awesomeness.
Yeah. Over time.